Radio on X. Follow at my idiot savant. Only on Grok Radio.
All right, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. About to do the Roaring Kitty. Where am I? What's happening? What's happening? Where am I? If everybody can press the comment bubble on the bottom right, repost the room. We only got about 7 reposts, about 46 people in here. Let's get as many people in here as we can. You guys know the drill. It's a Friday. Obviously, um, there was some big news events taking up the eyes, ears, and attention of anybody who's in finance, crypto, investment space, or anyone who's just really on X. So there's been a lot going on. Whether it's been with Roaring Kitty today, whether it's been all the news that's being released on the AI side of things, and then also everything that's going on with Grok. So let's just get people in here. Let's get everyone talking. Let's get everybody sort of vocalized about things that are going on. So yeah, give everyone a couple minutes. Again, press that comment bubble on the bottom right. Let's get as many reposts as we can. Comment, tag people, quote reposts. Everybody knows the deal. But yeah, let's give everyone a few more minutes, and yeah, we'll get started.
I don't belong. You can say I'm selfish, but I'm just strong. And now I'm breaking free from what they wanted me to be. And I'm me, finally. I'm doing it, doing it. All by myself.
All right, people. All right. Welcome in. Good afternoon. Good morning. Depending on where you are in the world. Just wanted to throw together little Friday spaces for us to just sort of catch up, talk about what's going on. This is a very critical time period for Grok. It's obviously there's some things were released last week. They were put back on the shelf, so there's probably some confusion there. Just wanted to welcome everyone in. Again, we are Grok Project, no affiliation with X, Elon Musk, XAI, Tesla, Grok AI, etc. Any subsidiaries. We are meme token community inspired by the mission of AI on the side of humanity. AI on the side of transparency. And our goal is to memify this entire experience, everything that's going on in the world with the globalists who are pushing their agenda onto children, onto the world, to people who don't understand how manipulation works, right? A lot of the space, whether it's crypto, whether it's the real world, a lot of the stuff that we see um, on the daily is manipulation, right? And when you're not equipped to identify a manipulation, that's how people get into trouble, right? Think about relationships. People are in manipulative relationships and they don't understand that they're being manipulated. They think, oh, it feels good, or this person doesn't mean any harm. And they don't understand that it's manipulation. Markets are the same way. They're manipulated largely by market makers and influential people who are taking advantage of people's emotions. Crypto is not the space for people who lack emotional security. If you lack emotional security, this is not a good place for you. Every single day, you will be flustered. Your blood pressure will be through the roof. You'll be losing your mind. You won't understand why people are talking the way they're talking to you, why they're choosing to target you, and all sorts of shit. I'll tell you this right now. If there's one thing, if there's one fucking thing that I am the most egotistical about, is nobody's gonna be able to break me. I know the game of manipulation. It does not work with me. It will not work. And that's what pissed these people off from the beginning. They thought they could DM me all sorts of shit, play games with me, show me bag. That I don't give a fuck how much money you say you have or whatever else. The reality is I know the games that people are playing. They're playing it in the world and the markets around us, and they're doing it to fuck around again with in the real world. We see what they're doing. With GME today, what a fucking disaster over the past few weeks. What a disaster, right? This was going to be a sell the news event. They decided they were going to halt trading multiple times. GameStop wakes up. They say, oh, you know, um, we're going to fucking dump 75 million shares in the market, $1.7 billion. They're talking about our revenue is $100 million under. They didn't want this guy to come in and do what he did 3-4 years ago. So they said, you know what? We're just going to work with the hedge funds instead. Absolute fucking madness. But the manipulation exists everywhere, right? And we're going to see shakeouts and all sorts of shit. And it's a matter of whether or not you have the emotional fortitude to be able to get through this. Now, when people say all the time, oh, Grok has the potential to be, the top performing meme coin this cycle. You have to ask yourself, what the fuck does that mean? Why does Grok have the potential to be the top performing meme token this cycle? And when you understand that, you will understand to not be fucking emotional. This is very simple. Grok, the actual tool, okay, we're memifying this experience, okay? We are, again,
on the side of, hey, AI on the side of humanity. The product was released in November. There was no substantial updates to Grok outside of UI changes up until last week when Grok Unhinged Mode was released. But then that was put back on the shelf. So we don't even have that right now, right? So when people talk about fucking marketing and whatever else, if Elon himself cannot market his own product in its current state, because one, they're raising capital. They just raised $6 billion at an $18 billion market cap valuation. They're the top GPU buyer of chips from NVIDIA. Okay, they're developing, they're raising funds, but ultimately they're waiting for releases for Grok 2 on X. 1.5 is already released on the XAI standalone app. They're going to release that on the X platform as well. So if those pushes haven't been made with the actual product itself, right? Just think about how great of a job this community has done to further the name of Grok AI, but also just to further the name of Grok meme, right? Because Grok is still relevant even though it hasn't had the updates. But this is the shit that people have to remember. You have to understand how the attention economy works. You also have to understand that, one, Elon's a smart man and he's going to scale things out appropriately based on when the time is right. But also, you know, what the fuck are you going to market when the its LLM, the language model is just underperforming GPT 3.5? Okay, so now there's nothing there to push. The push is going to come. If you're paying the fuck attention, you're seeing all of the UI changes, everything that's getting put in place. If you look at X updates radar, X updates alerts, etc., you can see all of the back end changes that are happening on the platform to accommodate different things like Socrates mode and the DEI mode. I think it's going to be a joke thing. But all of these different things are being put in place. All of the elements are there. We are not here to handhold. If you are emotional, I don't give a fuck. Nobody here cares. There's 20,000 holders, decentralized holders. People are crying. Not 20,000 people ain't fucking crying. We have no time to care about the few people who are going to fall off. They're going to get shaken up. We cannot help them in this market. This is not the space for you. I don't care. We've been doing this shit for 7 months. If you're not convicted enough, if you don't fucking understand the narrative enough, you're not going to get it here and you're not going to get it anywhere. So good fucking luck and good riddance. I have nothing to say to anyone. The reality is, if anybody has anything to say in respect to what we're trying to do here, right? What's most important is this person adding value to the totality of Grok? And in respect to the long term, do their actions ultimately match the desires of a person who cares about the long-term standing of a project, right? So most of the people here, that's what we give a fuck about. We want Grok to be in a position where at the end of this bull cycle, when the market crashes, Bitcoin crashes from 300K down to 150K, whatever the numbers are, I don't know. But just hypothetically speaking, right? Everyone's going to take a break. People are going to take their profits. They're going to be doing whatever they got to do, living their lives, everything, etc. It has to be a self-governed machine that is allowed to run on its own. And that's what we're creating here, is the foundation and the backbone for that. We are in a certain stage and phase of the market cycle. If you don't understand the cycles, if you don't understand where we are, again, do your research. Do your research to understand where we are in the market cycle, right? So this way, things won't come as a surprise to you when things happen. But now the reality is with Grok, we have the element of being based off of a very based AI tool. We have the element of the Elon effect. We also have the element of NVIDIA. You understand when these guys are talking about XAI, the largest buyer of GPUs from them, okay? The largest fucking buyer, and is XAI. So now, you have the NVIDIA effect. You have the Elon effect. You have the other people using the Grok memes effect. You have news articles picking up the shit that our community is saying about Grok when we start pumping off. We saw what happened, last time, and Benzinga's quoting, community members post on X about Grok token and things like that. So we know all of that is to come. Now, let's drill down into specifics, because again, some people
are forgetting certain things. So let me pin this up here in the spaces. This was May 13th. Okay, today is June 7th. Don't quote me on the math. I'm not certain. But May 13th, June 7th, roughly that was 24 days ago. Okay, Elon says major upgrade to Grok coming in about 39 days. Now, we know how he is with his timelines. This one's oddly very specific. But either way, clearly, this is some sort of timeline here. So now we're about 2 weeks away from this sort of initial sort of mention. Now, that would bring us to that week that's like the week before the end of June, right? This perfectly would put us in a position to push Grok, right? Very strongly, very hardly, very bigly, steal words from Donald Trump, bigly, right? Put us in a great position to push ourselves along with the meme coin run that is inevitable this summer. We also know that the ETH ETFs have been approved. Gary Gensler mentioned today, I guess, that it's not up to him when they get released. When they actually get listed, it's up to, I guess, whoever's distributing them, whatever. I don't know. But either way, all of this stuff is happening in a divine way for Grok. When you see these fucking nubs, when you see these people who are only negative Nancy's, who cry about everything, who want to throw wrenches and shit, we don't have time for this type of stuff. Because the reality is, we get it. We see the larger picture. We've seen the bigger picture. We've been here for 7 months. So anybody who's on the bus, who's on the Grok fucking bus, they don't need to ask the same questions people were asking 7 months ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, right? For people who are new to the community, right? It's a lot to catch up on. I do get it, but that's part of the pieces of the stuff in this space where you got to do some research, ask some questions, whatever else. People largely get it. We've met some great people in the TG voice chats. We've had them at sometimes odd hours of the day. It could be 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, my times. It could be 10 a.m. sometimes. It just random times people want to get together, pop in, start talking stuff. Lots of new folks are rolling in. So we're in a pretty good position, primed, going into the meme coin summer. And I feel very strongly about what's happening here. I feel really strongly what's happening with Grok. The reality is we see what's happened in the world of AI, what's Sam Altman, the shit that people are saying about what it's like working at OpenAI, all of the covert stuff they're covering up. He went on a panel a couple weeks ago, Sam Altman, maybe a week ago now, 2 weeks, I'm not sure. And, he was like, yeah, we don't really know what's underneath the hood. This is the exact words we've been using the entire fucking time in respect to why there's a problem with what ChatGPT is doing, right? Open source it. Let's see what's happening. And then the guy who is, co-CEO, co-founder, whatever, is saying we don't know what's underneath the hood. That's their fucking way to deflect that they are trying to do some weird shit. Don't forget, he's also the founder of fucking WorldCoin, where they're scanning people in underdeveloped nations' eyeballs and pupils and shit, getting their biometric data, giving them fucking pennies on the dollar for a token that's going to be worth shit, but they're trading in their fucking biometric data for that, right? Go look up AGI, understood, and just think about someone who believes that the world is a better place without humans in it, someone who believes and pushes agendas, this stuff I'm not going to talk about in this space, why it's a problem that they're the people behind the keys claiming they don't know what's underneath the hood. They are trying to literally pull the wool over your eyes and fuck you. That's why we're in support of this. And if you're in DeFi, you have to support transparency. You have to support people who are in support of DeFi. That's the shit I love about this community, is that everybody here is on the side of DeFi, right? We see what's happening in this space. There's fucking, I don't even know how this became a thing, but you got all these random, I'm not even going to mention coins or names or whatever, but the people just popping out the woodworks now, and they're supporting the same cast of characters who largely control most of the monopoly in this space. Ask yourself, if they are making that many gains and they're showing you their bags, think about the amount of people who are fucking losing. The only real community-driven project, I shouldn't say the only real, but one of the real and strong community-driven projects where we know those people aren't around is Grok. And the fact that we've consolidated between an $80 to $110 million market cap for 2 months, if that's not bullish enough for you, don't talk to me. Literally, don't DM me, don't message me, disappear.
I don't want to hear from you because you don't have intelligence. You don't have the ability to fucking identify what makes these things go up. That is such a strong fucking chart that Grok is. I apologize. I shouldn't say someone doesn't have intelligence. But, it's such a strong chart. The fundamentals on what the fucking, on what our project's about, the people that are here, the creativity, the memes, the animations, the designs, the countless hours of lost sleep. You don't see this all the time everywhere. This has really been, we've said it from the beginning, all gas, no brakes. This is what the fuck we've done from day one, and it hasn't stopped. And even if it stopped in one facet where, we don't have 24/7 VC, that was for 3 weeks. Boo fucking who? We're 7 months old. Let it go, right? We're fucking 7 months old. We're redefining what the all gas, no brakes is anyway. So the fact that some people are waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go use the bathroom, and instead they're fucking memeing away and rating, and then they're going back to sleep. Again, some people got their kids in their hands. They're dropping kids off to school, all sorts of shit, working full-time jobs, part-time jobs, in school, military, all sorts of stuff, homeless, everything. We have fucking everything here with Grok. Okay? So, and it's been all gas, no brakes, despite all of that shit. So, next couple of weeks, there's not much else to say other than Unhinged Mode will probably be re-released again. I dropped a few Unhinged things. Actually, let me post one of them here, if I can find it. Where are you? I'll find it in a second. No big deal. Slap that in the Jumbotron there. Nice little post in the Grok community space. It's an unhinged. It's the Grok Unhinged. You can still click on it and see, the how it varies from, like Grok Fun mode and regular mode. It's a pretty graphic thing, to be honest. I'm not going to read it here to you, but when you got time, go give it a read. But you're talking, 10 million views? Not bad. 10 million views on that. So guys, we're getting the exposure we need. We are getting, the right layers of attention. Certain market conditions you can't control. You can't control Fed meetings in a couple of days. So some people are speculatively doing things, before that happens. I guess, Grayscale is going to be offloading some stuff soon as well, I'm hearing. Certain market conditions we can't prepare ourselves for. But Grok has always been a token built for the bull run. We know we're going to be having speculative pumps based on the release of some of the, Grok components, which is fine. We know that there's going to be a massive marketing push at some point. Literally, there hasn't been a single piece of Grok marketing in 7 months from XAI. Not one thing. They went to an NVIDIA conference a couple of months ago to talk about very specific things in respect to their product. But it wasn't like a marketing push. It was more of like a tech conference and what that would be. So again, we haven't seen any video tutorials. We haven't seen any of that stuff packaged up. By the way, those are things that we are going to do as well. That's how we add value as a community. We show up, we create that type of content. We could do the meme piece as well, but even just recording like, hey, here's how you access Grok on desktop, right? Because now there's the standalone application. It's not just Grok on X platform. You can go to x.ai and you can sign up and you can actually use Grok outside of the X platform. That gives Grok infinity, okay? Because we had said from the beginning, Grok is owned not by X, formerly known as Twitter, but it's owned by XAI, which is a privately held company, majority owned by Elon Musk. Grok will exist for forever. We know AI is going to be the greatest, introduction of change of tech to our lifetimes. It's only going to advance from here. The infrastructure is beginning to continue to support it. The people who've doubted Elon Musk long term have not done well. 19 years ago, they laughed at him when he said he wants to get reusable rockets going into space. Neil deGrasse Tyson famously said in 2018, everybody within the aeronautics and space community, they love Elon Musk. He's done more for the aeronautics community than anybody else, probably even more than NASA in the past 10 years, right? What he's doing is incredible, okay? We saw what he did with Tesla. They said also that was going to be a flop. Was not a flop, still not a flop, right? So he's got his hands on this. We are early. early adopters of technology, early adopters of narratives. So that means we have the ability to control. We have the ability to inform narratives, the ability to help get those messages across. So these are the things that should light a fuel underneath you to feel strong about, where we're headed. Um, our plan, from the beginning, we've been a community-driven token. I don't know, when people say community-driven, we don't have anybody here doing shit for us, right? We're doing this shit on our own. We're the ones that are going out. We're begging networks and resources. We're taking money out of our own pocket sometimes to support different things, even if it's just small things like ETH trending or whatever. The PAL partnership that we had, we done, contributed a decent amount to the charity piece, right? Like, these are different things that we do. We, figure out the CMC debacle that took forever to get changed, but we got it done. They never do that for any other projects. CoinGecko literally created a new subcategory of tokens on their platform for us. Okay. It was a meme AI category, right? They literally created that for us. Okay. So these are things that we're doing despite not having, the traditional KOL, throw that fucking word in the trash. We're going to blacklist that shit in the fucking chat, right? It was despite not having those things, we get these things done, right? So now, when you want to talk about a plan moving forward, right? The plan is to, again, continue to push the narrative based on how we've done it. We have some stuff lined up, great conversations with people who are largely inaccessible, in the crypto space, where I'm just trying to get some AI-driven conversations going. And once the release comes out and there's other things to talk about other than, Grok's roasting capability, again, this will help gas the jets. So if you've had the patience before, continue to have the patience, continue to, be the great hodlers that we are, the great meme makers that we are. And then, I'm looking forward to the next couple of days and weeks, man. Anyway, ends rant. Maniac, a.k.a. Good Karma. What's going on, man?
Man, you're so energized, man. I'm loving your energy. You always say a lot, man. I can never come behind you to say what needs to be said. Other than what I've learned in this space is about keeping composure. It's okay if you brand new to this shit. You start freaking out, shit start dumping. And stuff like that. But it's like the more time, you put into this space, you get to learn the market, you get to learn what market makers do, and manipulation, as Nuke was speaking on earlier. You learn how to gain that composure and then stand in the fucking fire, in a blaze of fire, and just hold your conviction. That's what this shit is about. We in some pretty dynamic times right now, in regards to this space, in regards to what's going on politically. I mean, it's a lot of shit that's going on, and they're gonna come up with a lot of shit to try to shake us out. Bullshit FUD articles, rumors of so-called regulations, just all types of bullshit. They want us out of this space, period. And especially in DeFi, because DeFi poses a threat to their traditional system, so that's why they really hate DeFi. But hey, fuck them. We here, and this shit is here to stay, and we just gotta hold our composure, with Grok, with Pepe, with Brett, with whatever the fuck you hold, stand in the fucking fire and hold your composure. It's pretty much nothing much I can say. You always say it all, Nuke. So yeah, I've been in and out. I've been trying to stay up on what's going on and stuff, but my ear is paired to so many things. I'm watching so many things. It's like, because I feel like you got to pay attention to everything, to the news, to the politics, to the markets, to whatever project you in. You got to give attention to all that shit. You can't slack up on it. So that's what I've been doing, and And like I said, the biggest lesson I've learned being in this space is holding composure. And I think it's a good lesson for everybody to take a piece from, to not panic. That's always been our motto. Don't panic, right? So here we are. No matter, BTC decides to take the shit. Oh well, okay. Don't panic. We know it's going to go back up. We know the market is going to turn back around. So there's no need to really panic. So that's all I wanted to say. Appreciate you, Nuke. Appreciate everybody. I appreciate this entire fucking community. I mean, y'all some real sick ball motherfuckers. Steady coming up with fire memes. Steady grinding. 24/7 doing what we got to do as a community. I mean, we have some extras, some backing and help? Sure, could it be like donations if anybody wanted to do that? Sure. I mean, I don't feel the need to turn anything like that down, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta respect what we've done thus far as a community. So I get what Nuke was saying, and hey, I mean, it is what it is. We here, and it ain't no turning back. So that's all I wanted to say, man. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we definitely have. I mean, as soon as I saw that GameStop was like, "Oh, we requested to sell 75 million shares," I was like, "All right, they are trying to do their best bit right now to rev up the market one last time, because that's not something that's just going to impact GameStop. That's something that's going to impact memes. Like, people don't understand. Like, as great as Doge might have been, and their memes might have been okay, like Reddit and 4chan and the rest of those channels is where memes were really pushed. And meme stocks were like just a funny fucking thing that they were doing. And so, the whole meme coin meta era, whatever, all the terminology that you think you use that is purely 100% based on crypto, a lot of that is just also Deegan stock traders as well. So you have to understand the history of how this space sort of formulated and came to be. And so even from a speculative perspective, you see this guy today, Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, on stream. His portfolio is down $350 million, and he's sitting there drinking a hazy IPA, not giving a fuck. That's how y'all should be. Like, I'm just like, I swear to you, like, there's so many days where I'm like, I wish, for the life of me, if I was like, I own so many other tokens. I have no fucking idea what they're doing. I just know that the narrative is there. I check in, I see that some certain milestones are being hit, and I'm bullish long term. And that's it. So people have to understand that's how you win in this space. Your emotions are going to be what damages you, because it either means you're going to buy at a time when you shouldn't buy, you're being emotional, or you're going to sell at a time where you shouldn't sell, you're being emotional. That shit doesn't belong here. So, when we see that they do that shit with GME, they fucking dumped the stock on him on live. He had 600, 700,000 people on YouTube live. They dumped that shit 40% on him. It's a stock. The liquidity is so much thicker and stronger than crypto. But they managed to move the chart 40% live. It was his first stream in 3 years. If you thought you understood manipulation, that is manipulation, guys. So that shit is deep into the space. So they're gonna get as many shakeouts as they can, right? Or your job is to hodl. If you're not a whale who could sit there and laugh with with your portfolio down $350 million, if that's not who you are, your job is to hodl, because he's doing it and he's showing you how to do it with grace. Touch grass, have a drink, go make relax somewhere. But this space ain't for the faint of heart. It doesn't matter what you do. I've been in projects where, like, oh, they're going to do a $1 million buyback. They do a $1 million buyback, and somehow the price goes lower than when the person bought in at to buy it back, right? You got to understand, just because you think you know how things are going to go, or you think you know this, you don't. There's so much shit happening on the back end and whatever else. And as long as you have your investment thesis, which is the reason why in which you bought into a project in the first place, you keep measuring why you're holding against that. If you don't believe in that anymore, I get why people sell. But if you're selling because of panic or because of emotion, because you want to go emotionally buy something else or whatever else, You're not. It doesn't matter just with Grok. It's not just with Grok. These are the principles that exist on every fucking token and every crypto. It's the same fucking thing. So it just doesn't even make sense that people have to continue to preach these messages in this space because every cycle it's the same thing. So I'm not going to be the person. I feel like I'm a better person than I was last cycle. My problem wasn't hodling. Maybe my problem was hodling too long. Also, not understanding when the top of the market was and that kind of stuff, and how to take profit on the way up and that kind of shit. I have no emotion towards this anymore. I love Grok. I love the community, but I have no emotion towards things, like just zero. So whenever I hear shit, I'm just like, yo, my thing is to switch it off. Is to just turn it off. I just turn it off. It doesn't exist to me. I just block it out. I pretend like most things don't exist. That's what everybody should do. Just turn your fucking brain off. Turn that, not your brain, but that emotional part of your brain off. Turn that shit off and ignore it and just carry on and keep working.
Yeah. And getting back to that GME thing. I mean, the whole hypocrisy of that from Gary Gensler. What the guy was just on CNBC a couple of days ago, with Kramer, talking all this shit, trashing fucking crypto exchanges, trashing crypto, saying all this dumb shit, and they go around and do the ultimate fucking manipulation. You know what I'm saying? So that goes to show you who we're dealing with, who we're up against. And he's changed his tone a little bit from calling crypto securities. Now we need disclosures. Anybody, what the fucking disclosures is he talking about? What? I mean, this is a meme coin. This is crypto. You can invest. It's risky. You can lose your fucking money, or you can win a lot of fucking money. I mean, what fucking disclosures is he talking about? Nuke, can you expound on that a little bit? What the fuck is the disclosures that this dude keeps talking about?
I think he feels like it should be written on chain. I have no idea what he's talking about. It's just like he's trying to backtrack his way out of the strong language that he used. Because now we see the Democratic Party in the U.S. is flipping. They're going pro crypto because they want to take credit for the pump that's coming and everything else, right? They want to say, oh, it was because we brought in regulation, people felt safe. But if they got on record all of these things of Gensler saying it's a security, it's all a scam, blah, 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 it's not going to sound good. So now you say, oh, disclosures. Oh, you put it on your website? It's not a financial asset? Okay, then you're fine. Like, so it's complete bullshit what they're doing, man. Fuck Gensler.
Yeah, man. It's just straight hypocrisy, But hey, it seems like we got a winning tide going, so we might as well just keep remaining on that wave. If he's turning, if he's flipping, the Democrats making him flip, then I think that's a good thing. But his rhetoric is still annoying with the dumb shit that he says. And then turn around and do the exact same shit to his own traditional markets. What the fuck is that? You stopping trades, what, 7, 8, 9, 10 times? I mean, what the fuck is that?
I'd never seen. I mean, we saw it last cycle what they did with GameStop, but that was understandable because the volatility was wild. I mean, you see GameStop in that day go from $30 to 180, 200. I get it, but I mean, this was what we've seen now over the past 2 weeks with this mess. I'm glad it's happening now and not during peak bull, because now it's like the people who are in the market, I guess they're trying to stop us from getting max gains. But when there's more liquidity inflow, it's easier to sort of allow for that kind of stuff because we know retail is going to get wrecked. And they need retail to get wrecked. That's precisely what they need. So right now, again, that's what I was saying. We got to understand where we are in the market cycle. We're not there yet. Like, this was not it. That 72K Bitcoin wall, my goodness. It tried. It keeps trying. And it's going to try again. But at the end of the day, the price of Ethereum goes down 2%, 3%, or we're down 4% on the day. Okay, we just saw a stock down 40%, while the most influential meme lord of our time was streaming for the first time in 3 years. But Ethereum's down 4%, and everybody's like, what's going on? Relax. It's okay. We're going to make it. We're establishing new support areas. Don't forget, this was a previous high on Bitcoin. 66K was a previous high. But we're establishing support in a range between 66 to 72K. If you don't see that, I can't help you again. And so now that means when we do leg up, it'll be a much stronger leg up with additional layers of support at this level. So I'm happy with where we're at, man. I mean, overall, we've been around for 7 months. ETH was at 1,800 when we launched, 1,850. We are 2x up from the price of Ethereum from when we launched. Bitcoin, forget it, was at like, 30K or something or like that, right? So, we're in a really good position when you zoom out. But, everybody feels all the bumps. I used to use the analogy in the beginning of the plane ride, right? If you get on a plane and you're flying somewhere, you're bound to hit turbulence, right? But the seasoned flyers, the people who fly all the time, if you look at them, they're chilling. The flight attendants are just like, hey, everybody get in your seat. The pilots are in the cockpit smoking a cigar, right? Actually, they're not because you can't smoke on planes, but they're relaxed, right? But the people who are like, what's going on? What the fuck is happening? They're the ones who are trying to open the emergency exits. Why is it bumpy? We're in the sky. Relax. It's just a little bit of turbulence. You can't feel out every bump. We're still all passengers on the same fucking plane trying to get to the same destination. Will you be here when we reach there, or will you try to jump out of the fucking emergency exit halfway through the flight? As Okta, one of our people, always says, don't leave the story, before it's finished. Don't leave the story halfway through. Don't jump off the plane before we land, guys. All right, we got a lot more to go in the market, a lot more to go for Grok, and we get random pumps, man. You know that maniac, man. We just get a random pump any moment. Sometimes it's around support areas on the chart too. We get a nice little meme, whether you post Boston Groket's meme or whatever else. If anyone new that might be listening, I actually do see a few names. I can't even begin to tell you how many posts and which posts. Go into our TG, do /study, and we break it down, all of the posts that we've got liked from Elon Musk, including one on our Grok project account, a reply, 5 post links that he's liked, right? Doge followed similar things last cycle, right? It wasn't 3 Doge posts that done it, right? Because Doge wasn't a cabal coin, didn't have insiders, it was community driven. And then finally, there was a large push. So will you be here for the push? Will you be here for adoption? Will you be here for the times where somebody's on a news network and they confuse our coin for Elon's AI? Oh, we don't tell them to do it, but we know it's going to happen. The overlap is there. So it's up to you whether or not you're going to be a part of the journey.
I mean, and if you fade anything on Ethereum right now, I mean, the ETFs hasn't even gone live yet, so it's just something to keep in mind. The Gensler fucker did a complete 180. We didn't, that was odd and strange, and I was shocked myself. I didn't think the shit was gonna be approved, and so did a lot more other people didn't think it was gonna be approved. But hey, somebody twisted his fucking arm, somebody threatened him, or something. But we got this shit approved, so now we just waiting for the ETFs to actually launch. And so if you fading ETH, right now, I mean, you doing a very bad disservice to yourself. You have no clue or no consciousness of how the markets work. So it's like, patience, composure, and to not panic has always been the motto, for not just for Grok, but, if you in this space, period, you got to know how to exercise those things. And I know it's hard because I didn't have that at first. When I came last cycle, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I panicked, so I did all that shit. But, yeah, I mean, we here now, and this is what it is. So embrace this shit. You better embrace this market and learn to love it, because what certain political parties got planned for the masses is not good. It's not good. So all that stuff is getting exposed, is getting aired out. So you are in the right place. This is the right asset class, that's going to outperform even gold and silver. I'm not shitting on gold and silver. I know they're going to have their shine, they're going to pump and do their thing, but nothing. Digital assets is going to be the greatest. When the smoke clears, digital assets is going to be known as the greatest thing that came along, because it's an extension of the internet. It's an extension. It's an evolution of technology, So, and we chose this perfect asset class to be a part of. So, I plan to remain a part of this asset class even after the bull cycle. That's my mindset. So, I mean, everybody is different. People, feel to do what they need to do. Do you want to completely exit and leave the space? I mean, that's perfectly your choice. But as far as Grok, for what it's representing, you know, like Nuke was saying, Elon is is rolling things out on his own timeline. So all we can do is just ride with that. We gotta ride the wave on that. We know it's gonna come eventually. Because Elon is not a fucking loser, so it's gonna come eventually. Not maybe when we want it to come, but it's gonna fucking come.
Yes, sir. And I just want to turn everyone's attention. I pinned 3 posts up in the top. I'm gonna start with the first one. Actually, I'll do them out of order. So they said Grok 1.5 is being tested by some of their partners, and they're experimenting with image support. Okay, in the conversational UI, release date is to be determined. This is huge. Okay, because again, image support, that means the ability to do 2 things. One, interpret images. Okay, so what other tool do you know in your life that you could say, hey, what the hell is in this image? And it can tell you what's in the image, that kind of stuff. That's what we call multimodal. That's a big deal. And then secondly, the other side of that is we know they're working on a partnership with Midjourney. If you don't understand who Midjourney is basically the open AI of image generation AI, right? Generative image making AI or whatever. And I don't mean that in the sense that they're woke and leftist, but I mean that in the sense that they're like, the bigger name that's out there, the biggest name that's out there. So partnership with XAI, Grok, image generation, we're meme makers. This is a big deal. The synergies are there. That could be live on X. We know that Elon mentioned here 39 days, 25, 26 days ago. We don't know. They said release date TBD, but it's a big deal. Grok 2. Now, why would they be working on 1.5 and Grok 2? Again, we don't have access to 1.5 yet, guys. People thought we did. We do not. Why would they be working on Grok 1.5 and Grok 2? Well, that's because, unlike your cell phone that has software updates, right? And you may not use a version of that again. Let's say you're using an iPhone. On Android, people who use Android do this kind of stuff all the time where they're like, I don't want that update because I like the way that this update works with whatever it is that I'm doing here, right? And so in some cases, the applicability and the use cases for 1.5 versus 2, in the early stages, again, there's also like hosting and fucking, I wish Caesar Bush was here. He'd be able to talk about, all the storage, man. There's a lot of reasons. He would come on and he's like, yeah, man, I'm selling the storage. Oh, yeah, I loved when he would talk the storage talk. But, there's a lot of reasons. But eventually they'll get to a steady state, we call it, where they will be using just one version. But it doesn't matter because we're going to see the growth in different areas. So maybe they're using Grok 2 and Teslas. We have no idea. But the reality is, what we do know is all of these things are being worked on. Some may come a lot sooner than we thought. We saw unhinged mode. I got an example of that pinned up here. So we saw unhinged mode, all the other stuff. There's so much to be excited about. It's just a matter of whether or not, will you have the juice to stick around? I'm not calling anybody up, but, some people made some bad choices over the past few weeks even. I'm like, while we were consolidating, like I said, between 80 to 110 million, you know how bullish that is? You know how many tokens can't do that, don't do that? People just get so bored. We're 7 months old. We're averaging $10 million of total volume on some of the worst days in crypto, and we still are doing well. We had a weekend last weekend or the weekend before that where we just started pumping and people are dropping 100, 200K in the charts, all sorts of shit. Everybody's waiting for the speculative pump. Everybody wants their perfect entry, all sorts of stuff. I'm not telling people how to buy, hold, sell, trade, but just take note of what we're doing here and why this is special. And if you need any additional confirmation, hey, Nuke, hey, Maniac, hey, Rocket, whoever, Merv, doesn't matter. Do you know where they said that they were working on something with Midjourney, or do you know where this information is? Whatever else, like that's what we should be doing, using that kind of information in the chat to confirm and affirm our conviction, and then also to create the ideations about what we're gonna work on, what we're gonna mean, possibilities for, you know, again, like video creations and things like that. And I know people like B-Flow, like he's got a couple animations in the tank where he's waiting to use them on certain shills and that kind of stuff. Again, Hannah and everyone else, like so many people make memes ready for a particular day's news or a particular holiday or whatever else, trying to get the level of engagement, to get the exposure, to get more people in. Because we get more people in, the more people understand, more people can help, push the narrative, and then that's how we build a community-driven token. So, just keep all that stuff in mind, guys. All right. Let's see here. Covered the 1.5 stuff they're working on. Oh yeah, and then this last piece here, because it goes back to the funding piece, right? Like they raised $6 billion. First of all, I mean, Elon could have been creating a shoe company and he probably could have raised $1 billion. But raising $6 billion is no easy feat. Then, especially raising $6 billion and the time that he did from the partners that he chose was pretty impressive. Now, Kathy Woods, okay, CEO of ARK Invest, understand they are doing a lot of work with cryptos. Guys, when you talk about a pitch, XAI has to make a pitch to potential investors, and they want to know who the hell is interested in this, right? Look at the amount of impressions, the work that you guys do. Some people have 100 followers and they're getting 10K views on a post, 100, 200 likes. Amazing. Amazing how people have built platforms, educated people, brought people not just into our token and our project, but also helped people on X understand how to use Grok. So when you go into a pitch where you're talking about who's interested, who's convicted, da da da, you don't think they mention this community, especially to a person like Kathy Woods, who loves crypto communities because she knows how deeply passionate people are? You don't think that shit was mentioned? Just fucking put your thinking caps on. That is so amazing that could be a possibility, right? And who knows what's in the future? Who the fuck knows? But yeah, so just wanted to put that out there. I know we talk about these things in chat often. Sometimes we pop up in the VC, we capture these things, but just wanted to cover it here. Again, I'm not saying there's any direct connection here. I'm just, sort of putting on the what if sort of hat. So that's the kind of stuff that we have to do and prepare ourselves for. And that's the kind of stuff that also helps give you conviction about holding and, stuff that you can manifest and vibrate into the world. All right. Then, also, what was this? 5 days ago? We got another like from Elon on a post that was just 5 days ago. Seems like it's like, once every 8-9 days. It's pretty nice. Just pin that up here. It's got our Grok avatar in it. You got to be timely with these things. It's got some, the memes have to be relevant, but, we continue to get, we continue to get the recognition that we need, whether it be via likes or other people within the space acknowledging us. So I'm really grateful for that. So, but yeah, guys, I've been really sick this week, especially the latter half of the week, and I've been sweating and fucking just everything. So I started out sounding a little sniffly, but I'm drinking my lemon water here and taking fucking nasal shots and everything. But I just wanted to make sure that we captured, everything that we could that sort of occurred over the past, 10 days or so. Again, we saw the Grok analysis button get pushed live, but then that got taken down. We saw Grok Unhingeable got pushed live, that got taken down. but they're doing these things. They're testing them. A lot of things are going to get released. It's going to be big. So continue to be bullish. Continue to do the work. And I got to probably get off here and take a break because I'm starting to feel like trash. But yeah, Maniac, I don't know if you want to drop some last bits before we sign off.
That's pretty much it. I think you covered everything, Nuke. And yeah, sound like you need to get some rest, man. Catch up on some rest, Nuke. Nurse that cold, man. We need you strong and alive, man. You know, this is the second time, man. You battling the flu and
This
coming
is
in the chat and shit, man. What the
I
fuck?
got I got
Get
that
well, Nuke.
I got the government. No, whatever I had in January was bad. This is the government stuff. The stuff that was made in the lab, unfortunately. But that was 6 months ago. But I've been off. I just been like in bed because I was like not feeling well. But I missed raiding the way I have the past 2 days. Like I was just like a raiding machine. I'm like, man, I can't wait to get back to this because I do not want to be working after like August this summer. I'm done. I just want to do crypto full time to the top of the bull. And I know things are going to get bullish real soon, real fast. So I can't wait to just get back to like just rating that hard. Like it feels good, getting that type of engagement. So, um, all right. All right, gentlemen, gentle ladies, gentle others. I hear the birds chirping. Everybody go get outside, get some air, keep the raids going. And yeah, we'll be in touch and chat with you guys in the TG. Signing off. All love, guys.
Only on Grok Radio.